This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by PNP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2000. This week on Electric Playground, we take a look at Star Wars Starfighter, Gamespy's Mark Surfas, Fear Effect 2, Retro Helix, and Tommy and Vic review all the latest sports games.
A Gamespy anyway.
All right, I'm here with Mark Surfas at Gamespy Industries in Irvine, California. So tell me a little bit about the growth of the company from Planet Quake right up to now Gamespy Industries with Gamespy, Gamespy Arcade, and Radio Spy.
Whoa, that's a big question. Gamespy started in 1996 with the launch of Planet Quake.
Right.
And we now run approximately 40 websites, and they're all websites specifically about a game. Planet Quake, Planet Unreal, Planet Half-Life, all the cool games.
How many people do you have working on all these projects?
That's a tough question to answer. Gamespy has, did I just say We have 85 full-time people here at our super secret headquarters, and across the globe, we literally have thousands of people contributing to the website.
So you've got all these sites, and then what about some of the technologies you have?
Gamespy Industries does two things very well. One is we create a lot of editorial and community about games, all those websites we talked about. The other thing we do is live gaming. So in consumer entertainment on the net, people like to do two things. They like to read and communicate, and they like to participate. So we have all these websites about reading about it. So if you like Quake, Planet Quake is like the ultimate source for information and people to talk to about Quake. If you want to play Quake, we have a product called Gamespy 3D. It's in use by over 6 million people.
Wow.
So they tell me. And we have a new product called Gamespy Arcade, which is the ultimate gaming environment on the net. It's available at gamespyarcade.com. And it's a killer application for finding people to play games with and playing any type of game, anything from a strategy game to an action game to web-based games to checkers.
Well, how does it work? I mean, that sounds like a whole lot of work to accommodate that many people playing games.
I didn't know the questions were going to be so hard. What was the question again?
Tell me about the technology behind how you create something like Gamespy 3D so you can accommodate that many people on the web.
Wow. It's all very technical. I'm not sure you would understand.
Well, I think you should try it.
Okay, well, I'm not sure I understand. Can we just play some Robotron for a while?
So tell me where you got your inspiration to form Planet Quake.
Quake was the first game that you could play on the net in a full 3D world and really just reach out and kill people all over the place. And I found myself playing Quake all night long. So I decided to start Planet Quake, which was really the first website I'd ever built for myself. I had been building websites for corporations for a couple of years. This is the first website for myself. And as you can see, it took off. It really touched a nerve, and we never looked back.
So when are you going to make Planet Electric Playground?
Can somebody get to work on that immediately, please?
I got the best to take care of. I'll stay on your wing. Okay, here we go. Press 5. I'm on a flare. I need some help. Reactor shields are down. R2 is to do with this.
For more information, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
You'll enter a pipe to begin. Until you pass the first row of 8 walls, you'll only have to deal with Goombas. A cinch. In fact, you can mash the first 2 with 1 jump. The row of Oh, hi, Lee from P&P Games here, formally welcoming you in the future to the 5th season of the Electric Playground Classic. I'd like to extend a massive thank you on behalf of Vic, myself, and our combined families at EPN and Past and Present Games for your continued support. Returning to a Saturday morning routine and never missing an episode of the Electric Playground is made that much more special by being able to share the experience live with fans and fellow gaming enthusiasts. Watch or re-watch EP Classic, share the good word, and if you're able, shop pmpgamesonline.com, your source for everything video games. We're just getting started. Play forever!
Last year, Kronos Entertainment released a game entitled Fear Effect for the PlayStation. Well, this year, get ready for the prequel entitled Retro Helix.
We're here with Stan Liu. He is the president and founder of Kronos Digital Entertainment, and we're going to be finding out about Fear Effect Retro Helix, which is the prequel to last year's awesome game, Fear Effect. Tell us what we're going to discover in this new game.
What we did was we kind of come up with a situation to introduce you to the circumstances that brought the original cast together.
Hannah was a little bit more risque a few years ago. She was into some crazy activity. Can you tell us some of the stuff you got planned for Hannah?
In Retro Helix, we introduced Hannah's friend, her close companion.
Yes.
Her name is Rain. They're kind of like Xena and Gabrielle, except closer.
A little closer?
Just a little closer.
Okay.
It just, at this time in her life, I think she can use a soft touch of a woman as well. So.
Tell us some of the activities and some of the action elements in Retro Helix.
Oh God, you get to see all kinds of places, kill all kinds of things and people. And at the end, you actually find out how life starts on Earth.
So all the scientists we have at MIT and NASA,
they don't know anything.
They don't know?
No.
So they'll be calling you guys up.
Exactly. They're gonna have to play this game to find out, the meaning of life. There's 3% of our gene that is unmappable, and we call that the Retro Helix.
Sounds like you've been doing some reading.
It's actually kind of cool stuff. The gene stuff, the genome stuff is just really cool stuff.
Awesome. So explain how all that research and that sci-tech stuff is going to parlay into shooting people in the face. I imagine.
Do you really need a reason for that, though? I'm just curious. Well, actually, what happens is that in a story, the three individuals, basically Hannah Glass and Deke, who never met before in this prequel, were independently hired by a mysterious force to go and steal 3 pieces of very valuable item. And what they didn't realize was that the guy who hired them all basically just want them to just steal the thing and frame them and then, take the thing and, blame everything on them. And through that, they sort of like discover that, what they're stealing actually is something very important, has a lot of meaning to life and the universe and all those things. So you're hunted by, again, demon, monsters, gods alike, all over the place.
Stan, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And thank all your team for letting us stand up here and spout all.
Absolutely.
Nintendo is about to unleash 2 new platforms onto the world. The first one is called the GameCube. It's a DVD-based next-generation console. And the second one is a 32-bit handheld device called Game Boy Advance. It's even backwards compatible with Game Boy Color.
At the Space World 2000 show in Tokyo, Japan, Nintendo unveiled their 2 new gaming platforms. GameCube is Nintendo's successor to the Nintendo 64. GameCube is an incredibly powerful DVD-based game console that Nintendo stresses will not play DVD movies. Instead, software will come on customized smaller discs that will be hard to pirate. As you can see from the demos here, Nintendo is planning to deliver games that look every bit as amazing as those on Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. The other big news at the show was the first hands-on look at the Game Boy Advance. The new portable will feature 32-bit power in the palm of your hand, a full-color screen, and finally, 2 more buttons. Although it is backwards compatible with earlier Game Boy games, it will feature technology that sets it somewhere in the middle of the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. Plus, it will be able to connect directly to the GameCube for use with specific games.
We introduced 2 powerful new platforms, Nintendo GameCube, cutting-edge technology for the TV console area, and Game Boy Advance, the best and most significant upgrade in handheld gaming ever. Just a monumental day.
I'm Nazanin from Electric Playground. I'm going to be talking with Jason Wilson from Tips and Tricks. There he is. Hey, Jason. Can you tell us about the coolest game, Spider-Man?
Spider-Man is one of my favorite games of all time, not only because it has some of the most influential sequences anyone has ever seen, but because our own Tommy Tallarico did the sound and music for the game. But the code I'm going to give you guys is going to unlock everything in the game, all the levels, all the costumes, everything you can possibly imagine, all by entering the creator of Spider-Man, Stan Lee, his name, backwards. Highlight finish, and everything is unlocked. Now, excuse me, I've got to go fight some crime.
You imperial scum!
For more information, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Oh, hey, Lee from PNP Games here, reminding you to check out the Electric Playground Classic every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on youtube.com/EPNTV. Brought to you in part proudly by PNP Games. And don't forget, play forever!
I am sitting here next to a man who absolutely needs no introduction before. You all know him very well. The most popular movie in the last 20 or 30 years, the star of Corvette Summer. You stole my joke! Of course, you were in the game Wing Commander.
Wing Commander really opened my eyes to a whole new world of entertainment.
Was that the first video game you were really kind of
a part of? Yes.
And now, the Joker.
If I'm playing this icon of virtue in Luke Skywalker, what great fun it is to play this icon of villainy. I just can't think of somebody that's more deliciously evil than the Joker.
Can you give us a Joker laugh?
It can be sinister, or it can be...
What's your favorite video game of all time?
My favorite video game is Pong.
Pong. With
that
everyone.
thing is awesome. Yeah.
Put Victor Lucas in the cargo hold. The first Star Wars game to come out on the PlayStation 2 is a game called Starfighter.
Copy. I understand there's a new game out for the PlayStation 2. New Star Wars game, over. Well, Star Wars Starfighter is our first game for the PlayStation 2. It's the gameplay somewhere in between our X-Wing series and Rogue Squadron. And when exactly in the Star Wars timeline does this take place, over? A lot of the events that feed into the missions in the game are events that you see in the film The Phantom Menace.
So basically what you're saying then is there's not actually X-Wings in the game, is there?
Nope, not a one. Is it possible to kill Jar Jar Binks in this game, over? Unfortunately, there is no Jar Jar Binks in this game.
No, that's fortunate, Reef. Basically what you're doing then is you're just fighting other ships, right?
Yes, this game is a flight action adventure game, so you are flying 3 different ships and playing 3 new characters to the Star Wars universe. You fly as Reese Dallows, who's a Naboo fighter pilot. He flies the Naboo Starfighter. You also fly as Bana Sage, who's a mercenary type character, and she flies the Guardian Mantis. And the third character is a pirate named Nim, and you fly his Havoc bomber, which is a huge thing and drops bomblets over the terrain.
This game's on the PlayStation 2, Red 5. How awesome does this game look?
This game is pretty incredible on the PlayStation 2. We're really tapping into the power of the new platform. We have a lot of things going on.
So where exactly do you fly in this game?
All the missions take place on or around 3 different planets. There's Naboo, which people saw in The Phantom Menace, but then there are 2 new planets. One is called Locke, and that's where Nim the pirate has his base. And the other is a planet called Eos, where one of the characters, Vanna, discovers that the Trade Federation has a droid factory. And those are the 3 planets you'll see.
So are there any references then to Episode 2? I mean, is there stuff in this game that we could possibly expect to see in the upcoming movie?
We've kept it pretty much in the Episode 1 time period.
Well, thanks for spending the time with me there at 5. I got some business to take care of.
I'll stay on your wing.
Okay, here we go. S5! I'm under fire! I need some help! Reactor shields are down!
R2, seriously doing it.
I'll be right there.
Yeah! And that you Imperial scum!
Tommy, reach out with your feelings.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing. Get on.
Use the force, Tommy. Trust yourself, Tommy.
Stay on target. Yahoo!
Hey, it's time for the Tekken Tag Tournament Move of the Week! This week we got a great one for you with Yoshimitsu and Nina! Ready? These are all kinds of combo moves that are packed together. We got the kangaroo kick, the tag, double slap, right low kick to a backspin chop, and then the bad habit. Ready? It's right kick, left kick, tag, back, right punch, down, right kick, left punch, forward, left kick. We'll see you next week!
For more information, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Hey, it's a... Oh. Alas! Poor Dreamcast. I knew him, Sonic. A console of most ultimate gaming and most excellent fancy. And now, how abhorrent it is in my imagination. My gorge rises at it. Here hung your controllers that I blistered my fingers on I know not how oft. Where be your games now, your VMUs, your broadband internet connection, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set a night on a roar? Not one now to mock your game's catalog? Disc tray agape. Play forever.
Hey, this is Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color. They added speech and rumble to this cartridge, which is kind of weird. You wouldn't expect that out of a Game Boy game, but they did it somehow. Some of the artwork in the game is kind of goofy, and I don't really like the still images of what Joanna looks like and what her boss looks like. But the gameplay is varied, and there's lots of different missions and different levels that you have to visit. All the weapons from the Nintendo 64 game are in there. I like the target practice elements in the game. That's kind of fun. The sneak and spy stuff is cool. Personally, I enjoyed Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy Color a little bit more, but this is still a solid title, and fans of Perfect Dark for Nintendo 64, they're going to like it. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Check out Perfect Dark for Game Boy Color.
Reviews on the Run is brought to you by Microplay, where the games begin.
What do you think of Virtua Tennis from Sega for the Dreamcast?
Virtual Tennis, the best tennis game, video game ever of all time.
Well, I have a tough time saying that because
I love Mario. I love Mario Tennis, and you're a freak. But anyway,
but it's a different
for all
game.
you normal people out there, you're gonna love Virtual Tennis, and you're gonna think it's the best video game ever of all time.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the best tennis simulation for any of the video game systems ever.
The controls are very easy, very tight. You can use the analog or you can use the pad to control. And but you also use it to control like where you want the ball to go. You know, you push down and it comes in shorter, push longer, it'll hit longer.
The gameplay mechanics, it's like an update to Pong, really. I mean, you can aim where you want to shoot the ball.
Never thought of it that way.
But it's
the game sucks. I don't like it anymore. Now that you've put it like that.
But it's the graphics. It's the whole trappings of the game. I mean, the visual style of this thing is incredible.
And it really does hone your skills, all the different training things. The only thing, I mean, they have like licensed players, right? And they have like about, I don't know, 10 or 12 different players.
Yeah.
None of whom which I've ever heard of.
I'm going to give Virtua Tennis 9.5 out of 10. I think it's one of the best reasons to have a Dreamcast today.
I'm up there with you, 9.2 for sure.
Great. Definitely pick it up, you guys. All right, what do you think about World Series Baseball 2K1, another Dreamcast sports game?
This is awesome. This is heaven. There has never been a video game that has been this good looking.
I think it's as good as NBA 2K and NFL 2K and Virtua Tennis.
Way better.
I think the thing is, the reason why you love it so much is because you're so diehard into baseball and you've been waiting for a game like this.
Here's the thing, the reason I appreciate it more is because Derek Jeter, when he gets up to bat, it looks exactly exactly like Derek Jeter. Orlando Hernandez for the Yankees, got the black socks up to here, does the high leg kick.
I think it's a great looking game, okay? I'm not going to
The
take that
best
away.
looking game ever.
It's a great looking game. It makes a better movie than a video game. You're just not playing the game enough. You have no control of the fielding. So basically, you'll watch your computer-controlled players when you're on defense miss balls that you could easily dive for if you were playing.
No, it's a very simple arcadey type game.
You should wait till next year, because I bet you next year
Yes.
they'll have it all. So why bother wasting your money on it?
Because it's the best looking video game ever of all time.
big
But
game.
look what Virtual Tennis, that was a simple game too. You
Yeah.
hit buttons and you hit a tennis racket.
Yeah, but you're in
Same
control
thing
of
here.
every element of that game. And in this game, you're not.
8.8.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
Completely and utterly ridiculous.
5
Don't
out of
listen
10.
to it.
5 out of 10.
It's the best looking game ever.
It's a mediocre game. It's a beautiful looking mediocre game. Now, seeing as everybody still has the Olympic spirit and everybody was freaking out about the Olympics in Australia, let's talk about Sydney 2000. If I don't like the button mashing, see how fast you can move your
Because
finger.
he sucks at them.
All right, I'm not very good. All right, I admit that.
wasted you
Yes.
in this game.
There's something wrong with Tommy because he's got a spasmodic twitch and he can keep the thing pinned. That's not the reason. I find the gameplay so repetitive. You know, it's
No.
neat that they mix it up with 12 events and
It's
you
great.
can skeet shoot and kayak and,
Oh.
and high jump and dive and all that stuff.
All the events aren't just button mashers. Yeah, there's some in there. There's the 100-meter dash, of
Yeah.
course, the hurdles. There's the swimming, which really tires you out. My neck is still sore.
Yeah.
But everything else is
So is mine.
The best is diving. How about that event? We had
Yes.
fun doing some diving stuff. But you can't map the controls to the keys
Yeah.
you want.
I just don't like these kinds of games. I tried track and field a few years ago, and it was fun for 2 weeks, and I played this. It was deja vu all over again. I'm giving it 6 out of 10, all systems.
It's an awful score. It's 8.6.
8.6?
It's a fun game.
Alrighty, let's switch gears here for a second. You get it?
Yeah, switch
Okay,
gears.
switching gears. We're going to Rally Challenge 2000 on the Nintendo 64.
Finally, a pile of trash. I was getting, because I was getting scared there. I was liking all these games. Don't waste electricity plugging this game in. This is a pile of trash.
We're in the year 2000. We've got a brand new Rally game, and it feels like they're trying to catch up to Sega Rally, which came out in 1996.
It's so 4 years ago,
Yeah.
this game. There's no special lighting effects. There's no cool shadows. It's just a 3D car placed on a thing.
If you want a good rally kind of racing game, you want to check out Rallycross on the PlayStation. That's a game that gave you all kinds of extras, super
Right.
fun to play.
Right.
The biggest problem with the game...
The commentator?
Well, the commentator sucks. But
He's a fool!
But let's talk about the gameplay, though. The biggest problem with the gameplay is you can't go off the road. There's these invisible walls all over the place. They've constricted everything in here. This is so much like Sega Rally was 4 years ago. It's unbelievable.
I give it 3.8. I mean, it's an attempt. I mean, if you love racing games, you have to have every single racing game. Get it, I guess. But I mean, I wouldn't ever play this again.
Yeah, it's a weak game. It's so mediocre. 4.5 out of 10 for Rallycross 2000.
All right.
All right, now what did you think about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for the PlayStation?
Now, Tony Hawk 2 is everything the first game was.
Right.
Plus,
more.
You can create your own skate park. You
That
can
is so
create
cool.
your own player.
The first game was brilliant, and it offered you all kinds of gameplay, all kinds of goals for each level. Now this game offers you way more goals per level. You've got 10 things that you have to accomplish.
Right. The levels are bigger too, I thought.
Much bigger and much more interactive. You're pushing past things and things explode.
Well, the
and
first one's like in a plane hangar, and
Yeah.
there's all these like planes, and you can zip off their wings, and it's a well thought out game. I give it a 9.2. I think
score.
it's I think it's a great game, and they did everything they could have possibly.
I'm going to go you one better, man. I think this is the best
Here it
PlayStation video game ever made.
Here it comes.
There's nothing better than
Well, I
Tony
gotta
Hawk Pro
disagree
Skater
with
2.
that. Yeah, how about Metal Gear Solid
I
and
like-
Tekken 3, you dolt?
I like this better than those.
Yeah,
This is my favorite kind of game. It's a game that you keep uncovering things. There's no end to the playability. You've got 2-player, you've got customized, build your own skate park. I love this thing, 10 out of 10. Fantastic, make sure you pick it up the day it comes out. Okay, go long. Go
long?
for it, go.
Okay,
Hurry up. Faster.
You can find all the games featured in Reviews on the Run and hundreds more at all Microplay locations across North America and at microplay.com.
Yo, make sure you check us out next week on the Electric Playground.
Production assistance for Electric Playground is provided by Namco, makers of Tekken Tag Tournament for PlayStation 2.
This classic episode of the Electric Playground was brought to you by PNP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support the Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.